The aftermath of Isaias. The storm packs a powerful punch as it barrels into Maryland, producing tornadoes and leaving behind a trail of damage. Hello, everybody. I'm Rick Ritter. Well, new tonight, the National Weather Service confirms 3 separate tornadoes touched down in parts of our state. And at this hour, thousands are still without power. Now, one of the hardest hit areas, Cecil County, where extensive flooding left streets completely underwater. Video that is just hard to believe. Football fields simply turned to rivers, cars left floating like bath toys. You can only see the tops of those vehicles now. In St. Mary's County, we know at least 1 person died after a tree fell on top of a car, while 2 tornadoes touched down in that county, the 3rd tornado hitting Calvert County. And WJZ has team coverage of the storm tonight. Let's begin with Kelsey Kushner in Cecil County, one area that saw a ton of damage.
Well, where I'm standing right now, a car was actually towed from this spot just a few hours ago. You can see that water has receded greatly compared to what it was earlier today. Now, all over Cecil County, water flooded roadways and backyards, trapping some people inside their house. For 13 overhead as streets turned to rivers in Cecil County, and rescue teams went door to door responding to houses in the area, getting people to safety. Tuesday's storm swept through the county, leaving behind destruction and damage.
We looked out and it was raining. Fat raindrops hitting the ground really hard. You could barely see out into the road. The
Northeast Creek continued to rage after the storm passed through, spilling out into backyards and flooding out homes. Neighbors tell WJZ some of their friends found themselves trapped inside their house on the 2nd floor.
We know people that live down the street, Cecil Avenue, and their house is partly underwater on the 1st floor.
Neighbors say they watched as officials made multiple water rescues and even spotted a propane tank get stuck in the water.
We had to be stopped by fire truck because they were getting it out of the road.
In Elkton, roads disappeared underwater on Bridge Street. One woman says her family's restaurant flooded out.
In our restaurant, it's my hip level. It was so fast. It was so fast. I can see the water getting higher and higher and higher.
Outside, multiple cars were submerged, including this fire truck that stalled after driving through 3 feet of water, responding to a call. 4 firefighters were rescued by a swift water rescue team. Tow truck crews walked through waist-deep water, returning belongings trapped inside a white car before pulling out. Now, the Cecil County Department of Emergency Services says that they did have to make multiple water rescues today. Most of those people were trapped inside their cars. They say some people were transported to a hospital to be looked at, but there were no reported serious injuries. Reporting in Cecil County, Kelsey Kushner for WJZ.
Kelsey, thank you. Ocean City also dealing with the aftermath of Isaias. Earlier today, hours of high winds tore apart some homes, even ripped down power lines. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren is there with a look at the damage.
From downed trees to twisters, Isaias left his mark on the eastern shore.
Around 8:30, we had that tornado warning. He was still asleep, and that was scary.
In Ocean City, the 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts tore off several roofs, including at this apartment complex.
Wind just got underneath of it, just ripped wood, and just debris started flying everywhere. Just all came up. Luckily, nobody was there outside, or somebody really got hurt.
For hours, rain and wind pummeled the eastern shore, and the Atlantic turned angry. The biggest danger proved to be tornadoes. The storm spawned more than 100 of them as it made its way up the east coast, including 2 confirmed twisters on the eastern shore. Here in Mardella Springs, a tornado blew this house off its foundation, with a woman still inside. Her sister-in-law spoke about the dramatic moments. She asked WJZ not to show her face.
If anyone has never experienced it, I cannot explain it. You don't want to know. My sister-in-law is so fortunate because the house across the road from her is completely demolished. And this huge black cloud, I can't explain it, came, and then all of a sudden this funnel thing came down, and I'm saying, oh my gosh, we're going to get it.
And almost as quickly as Isaias came, he left, and the change was striking. The skies cleared, and the sun was bright over Ocean City once again.
It's the calm after the storm.
Very true. After this fast-moving but powerful storm, rip currents will remain a danger for anyone going into the water. In Ocean City, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
And let's go to Bob Turk now with more on the impact of the storm and where it is right now, Bob.
Believe it or not, it's south of Montreal in Quebec, and it moves away. This is now post-tropical. This will be the last advisory for this storm, and boy, it has been something. It's traveled over 4,000 miles from the Leeward Islands. Right now, locally, we have some shower activity. It's moved across the bay south of the city. Even had some lightning and thunder in a couple of spots. That will end shortly, but some folks still getting some rain, which they do not need. Meanwhile, during the day today, numerous reports of flooding, wind damage, rain, and even a couple of tornadoes we mentioned. We probably had as many as 5, one in Mardella Springs, one in Goodall Tree. That's on the eastern shore. Southern Maryland, Piney Point, Dares Beach, and Ridge also probably saw a small tornado this afternoon. We'll know tomorrow whether or not the Weather Service has actually verified those tornadoes. Meanwhile, meteorologist Charles Stringham has a look at how much rain fell and a look at the winds that blew through the region this morning.
Hi, Bob. Hello, everyone. Well, unfortunately, the heaviest axis of rainfall set up right along the urban I-95 corridor and then along our communities right near the Chesapeake Bay. We saw some significant numbers. In fact, some spots over 6 inches of rain. Take a look at this graphic. We saw 6.5 near the Bay Bridge, right over 5.5 in Annapolis, 4.29 in Cambridge, BWI right around 2.5, and 2 inches reported in Westminster. The wind gusts very impressive. Take a look at this. Graysonville, right around 71 miles per hour. To put it in perspective, a Category 1 hurricane is 74. 56 mile per hour wind gusts reported in Easton and Northeast, 56 miles per hour, 53 in Middle River, and a wind gust in Chesapeake City reported right around 49 miles per hour. Now, of course, the weather is much quieter tonight, and it will be tomorrow as well. And Bob will talk more about that in the full forecast. For now, I'll send it back inside to you.